there was a moment where I feel like there was a red flag early on, and you saw that this person's really not being, not being straight with you, but there was a part of you that was like, oh, maybe I'm overthinking this, maybe I'm too paranoid. And I feel like whatever that event was, there was some kind of early indication of what this person's true intentions were. But it's almost like maybe you didn't have enough information at the time. Maybe you were a little bit, a little bit naive, a little bit kind-hearted, that you kind of close your eyes to something. A successful person who you might be in a connection with, somebody who will elevate you in the society, because this person was trying to bring you down. They're showing me that, it's funny because you thought it was a romantic connection, but really this was a person that was almost like there was a demonic interference there that was trying to knock you off your pedestal. This person might be cheating on whoever they are with if they have other connection. This person might be traveling a lot. And I'm getting with the Tower card, sooner or later, the Tower here just falls apart. What's been built on the lies. This person actually did this on purpose in some ways. They specifically protected themselves, protected whatever else they needed to protect, while they put you in a situation where you will be hurt. Because if they didn't want you to be hurt, they would have played a lot of different things very differently. What is up, Scorpios? Welcome back to my channel. What's going on? How are you guys doing? Let's take a look. I have a message for you. I've been actually getting a lot of downloads for you today, but let's take a look what it's about. They're saying you need to find this message. You have to find this message before November 1st. I feel like you can watch this video in November, even if you find it after November 1st, but it's kind of like it's better if you watch this by November 1st, because it will give you like some upper hand, some advantage. We have here 10 of Swords. Let's see, we have here 5 of Coins, which is 10 of Swords, 5 of Pentacles. We have here the 8 of Wands. Ooh, this is very interesting. Give this video a big thumbs up. You're going to be finding out something very important is what I'm getting. Something that's been hidden from you, something that's been partially revealed. So I feel like for a lot of you, this energy been revealed to you partially, so you're not completely in the dark about something here, but you're going to finally sorry, it's not in the frame. You're going to finally have those details that were hidden from you. Okay, so we're going to take a look at this. Very, very important video for you. I feel like the first card here is strongest, 10 of Swords, and it has to do with somebody's intentions, I want to say, towards you. There is a connection, and again, for a lot of you, you might not even be with this person anymore, or maybe you are not, you're not really like, you're not trying to make it work anymore, but there is this energy that I feel like has this trickster, a bit of a trickster energy, I want to say. And essentially what they're showing me is this. You are about to see some kind of situation that you were really struggling to find closure in, exactly for what it was. Like, how sometimes you go through like a heartbreak, or there's a disappointment and you gotta let it go, but there's a part of you that's still clinging to certain outcome, or you wish things were different, and you still unconsciously maybe, even if you don't want to do it, but you still unconsciously kind of like think, oh, if only this one thing was different, or well, this was so close to how I wanted it to be, etc. But I'm getting like in this particular situation, like there was something that was off and something that was wrong from the start, whether you were aware of it, I'm getting, or not. There is something here that was wrong from the start, and I feel like this for a lot of you was this missing piece that was not letting you find closure. Again, this message is obviously not for everybody. If it's for you, it will be for you. And again, I feel like it's very important you watch this video in November, especially by November 1st. Like, it's crucial. I don't know why, we'll find out, I guess, in a moment. Death card, and we have here the Tower as well. I feel like right now that you have this picture that's complete, before it wasn't complete, now that you have this picture that's complete, you're going to be able to actually, for some of you, move on, for some of you take the next necessary step, for some of you to finally let go this person that was so hard for you to let go. Because I feel like for the longest time, you kept, there was a perception of the situation, but I don't feel like it was accurate. You had some kind of wrong, I want to say like a wrong perception of the situation. You didn't see it for what it truly was. For some of you, maybe it does have to do with also another person being involved in the situation, maybe a relative, maybe a friend, maybe some kind of third party. Even for some of you could be, it doesn't have to be, obviously. But what you, like, you had bits and pieces of the situation, yes, and you had figured out a lot about the situation, but I feel like, again, there was a crucial element here that was sort of like hidden from you. And I feel like for a lot of you, you kept thinking, well, what if just this one element was different? What if just this one thing was different? Well, I was so close to getting what I wanted. But what you didn't realize is that I feel like whoever this person was you were dealing with, they were never on your side, I want to say, on your team. So what you were envisioning with them, maybe again, you know, like you had really genuinely good intentions for this situation. You really maybe genuinely wanted to help them. And it happens, right? Outside of love life, it happens so often. Sometimes you enter business with a person. You have good intentions. You hope they have good intentions, but maybe they have intention to screw you over somehow. You know, it could be in friendship. You come into a friendship, you have good intentions. You just want to grow. You just want to, you know, like evolve together with another person, share a good time, but this person might be secretly a hater. You know, this kind of crazy stuff happens. It's life, you know. And I'm getting that when it comes to this situation with this person, again, it might be a video for somebody very specific today. And again, you guys, if you appreciate all these extra videos, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe, and also donate to the channel if you can. Support the channel in any way you can. There's currently personal extendeds that are available. You can just make a donation to the channel. I'll be very happy to. You can also, there is what else we're offering. There is a tarot course for beginner that's only like $100. That's 50% off. No, it's to read tarot for yourself. Please do support us on Ko-Fi. And there's also a Scorpio birthday sale, 20% off select items in my shop as well for those who need it. Again, you know, there's many ways you can support the channel. I appreciate even just, you know, your pure donations, you know, without extra work necessarily. But yeah, I as always, you know, thank you guys very much. But essentially, this video might be for somebody very, very specific. And I'm just getting that this person, like, you thought that you were going to, like, you had certain expectation, you had certain perception of them, but they were never who you thought you were in the first place, because you've entered this connection with very good and genuine intentions. Again, they keep telling me that your intentions were good, your intentions were genuine, but they were very much, you know, they were, there's this expression, I don't know how to translate it in English, but essentially they had their own self-interest in this. And I feel like you were honest here. You thought that they were an honest person, but I feel like from the very beginning of the connection, they were playing games. And again, it doesn't mean that immediately they started lying to you, but again, there's a difference, right? When we enter a situation with pure intentions, genuine and honest, and then there's a difference when somebody enters a situation where they are already planning, you know, how they are gonna essentially, like, you know, take over or get something that they want and cover the tracks. Because what I'm getting from this person is this: they wanted something out of this. It was more of a selfish interest. Like, they were trying to also avoid something that cannot be avoided with a hanged man here. They were trying to avoid something here. They were trying to make you, for some of you, make you do all the work. I don't know what it means. They wanted you to take all the risk also in this connection. All the risk, whatever it means. All the, take the risk essentially while they were safe. How it works, I don't know. So maybe for some of you, let's just say it's a long distance, and they wanted you to either wait for them or to go move where they are, but they were not even necessarily promising you much. Like, they were not really giving you something like this. They were not willing to, like, they would say, oh yeah, but I have this job, I cannot do this. One example. For others of you, maybe, for some of you, maybe this person was public in some way. And so this person wanted you to come forward with all your intentions and like meet them and show what you want with them, while they were, you know, maybe using fake phone number to reach you because they were trying not to dox themselves, right? They were trying to, if anything, to cover themselves up. There was something where this person was covering something up. And again, I'm giving you some examples. They don't have to apply. It could be something similar, like slightly different. But I'm just getting from the very beginning, this person was not genuine. They were trying to do something in this very covert way where you would be, and I feel like you had, again, good intentions. You were trying to, meet them halfway, and I feel like for a lot of you, you even started at some point understanding that, this person is not giving me what I want. But still, though, for a lot of you, I feel like you didn't realize that this person started this connection all the way from the beginning. They were never this like, oh, poor me. Oh, like, if some of you felt pity for them. They really, and this is, by the way, this is one of the narcissistic technique. A narcissist doesn't have to be, look at this, false person. A narcissist doesn't have to be grandiose or anything like this. Sometimes narcissists could be covert, which is they pretend to be victim, they cry, oh, look at me, poor me, how difficult my life is. And the problem, I think, for an empath, if you consider yourself an empath, sometimes it's not even the grandiose narcissist, to be honest. Like me as an empathic person, and I don't consider myself like empath, like, like even though some people will say I am, but I think I hope I developed boundaries. I think I have, but I feel like for empaths, the final stage of growing into their more empowered self and not also victim self is when an empath essentially starts seeing through people those who pretend victims. Because see, we as an empath, right, we feel bad sometimes for certain people where like, oh my goodness, well, this person is in this bad conditions. Oh my goodness, I feel so bad. And especially when you love somebody, right, there is this natural desire to help them, to save them sometimes, which you have to be careful with. But I feel like here, this person weaponized your empathy against you. And yes, I do feel like for a lot of you, this is a false person. There's something about house could be as well. This is a false person for a lot of you. And because you felt bad for them when it comes to certain situation, I feel like you were trying to close your eyes and you were trying to maybe even blame someone else for how they are, whether it's a relative, mom, I don't know, sister, third party, whatever their situation is. But you didn't realize that actually the victim, this, oh, poor me, I'm so lost, was for a lot of them just a mask. But underneath this mask was actually a person who was just very comfortable in getting what they want, but using manipulation in different ways to get whatever they want from other people. And with you, they read you as somebody who, well, you are so idealistic, right? You want to help them, you want to save them. So they used this as a tool against you is what I'm getting. Community, for some of you, maybe there is a similarity with communities. Person could be an artist, creative of some sort. 1639 could be important numbers. Mature man, child. There could be also mature man, father figure, older brother, uncle, and a child involved. Maybe they are a mature man. I'm getting with a message of concern and pathway. This person is trying to find their way back now into your life. There's also maybe some kind of message of concern that could be a part of the story here. There could be imprisonment, family room. I'm not getting that they are like an inmate, not to laugh at this, but like, some people these days write, you can write to inmate, something like that. I don't get that that's the case or that they are doing a sentence or anything like this. I feel like for some of them, their way of manipulating you was that they are in this family situation, there's this family influence and they have to do what their family asks them to do. But in reality, again, this person was just like, they're very manipulative. They're good at getting what they want. They're good at manipulating public perception, especially of them. When they need to, they will be super conservatives. When they don't need to, they are acting completely different. When they, essentially whatever they need in order to get what they want is what they do. And I'm getting here, there could be maybe marriage situation involved here, some kind of work situation that's involved. And yes, I feel like this person, maybe somehow you met them through their work, could be. They, with a change in courthouse, I do feel like, maybe you should watch my video about third party that I just posted before this video, I think. But I'm getting like with change in courthouse, there are changes and I feel like justice is going to be served. But what they like to do here as well is they like to lie about stuff. They like to lie about what's really going on. Poverty journey, let me see, wealthy man. There is another message coming through for Scorpios, and we're going to work with this maybe on the next one. But I do get that you have a wealthy man interested in you. I'm not getting that it's the same person, to be honest. I actually feel this person, what you don't know about them, they have a lot of financial issues. They do, because I feel like they took too many loans or some mortgages, could be like obligations, different stuff, and they didn't calculate everything correctly. There's also somebody in the military who is concerned, could be, again, messages for some of you, 33, 22 could be important. Numbers, messages, high honor, sudden wealth. Somebody could get a sudden maybe payout of some sort, especially if it's military related. And we also have here despair and gift. And yeah, I feel like a person who is in despair will be getting out of that despair with some kind of gift. Back into privilege, I want to say, but I feel like it's related to somebody else here. Hold on, let me take a different deck, and I'm gonna do my best, so to say, to clarify. Hold on, I have my mic so I cannot move. Hope it doesn't disconnect. I have a different deck, but it's far. I haven't used this in such a long time. Let's take a look. This one is usually accurate for topics like this. Because what you're going to learn essentially, and I think this was one final thing that you needed in order to have the closure that you need, is to understand that there was never such thing as like, well, oh, at some point this happened in the relationship, or this happened, or this person, this wicked third party, or this wicked family member, or whoever influenced them and everything fell apart. What you needed to understand from the very beginning, this person's intentions were never pure. They were never genuine. They were always looking how to save their own ass, so to say, and if anything, make you the one who will carry the baggage in whichever case scenario. And I think that's for some of you, it's painful as it is, this could be the kind of truth that sets you free. Because see, the thing is, let's just say, we have Nine of Swords here at the bottom. Let's just say like, you would end up together. Still somehow you would be in a position where you would have to carry some kind of blame or some kind of baggage, because they would almost like use it against you and say like, well, I did this and that, and now you have to understand this and this, and like whatever situation essentially you go with them in, they always try to save their own ass, like I said before. I don't know how to say it in different ways, so excuse my language. But they would always try to essentially make you the one who is, carrying the baggage and paying the bill somehow. Whether you're feminine or masculine, you know what I mean? And what else do I want to say here? And I feel like even if you're okay, they're doing something, they're taking a chance on that. Again, they would try to make themselves innocent and you guilty. And it's intentional. Because I'm getting like for some of you, from the very beginning, they even entered this connection in order to humiliate you somehow. So it could be that you thought that, wow, this person actually is in love with me, and they want me, etc. But really they wanted to play you somehow. This is not a good energy. Let me see. Six of Wands, they wanted to win. This is the person who could have narcissistic quality. King of Wands, Six of Wands, they wanted to win. They wanted to win bad because deep down they're very miserable. And with the Magician card, they did have schemes and tricks, but what they didn't realize is that you're far more powerful than them. High Priestess here overpowers the Magician. Because again, the problem here was that you fell in love with them. And another problem here also was that they also, I think, fell in love with you. But most importantly, your purity, you have purity and passion. And you have certain qualities to you. You're honest. And I think, these days, if you can be honest, and if you can genuinely have courage and say what you believe in, do what you believe in, and not hide, this is like a luxury. People say, oh, being offline is a luxury, which it is, in a way, if you can. People say, oh, living a private, slow lifestyle and simple lifestyle is luxury. I agree, right? Could be. But I feel like the biggest luxury these days, in our day and age, is to be honest, to not wear masks, and to say what you truly believe in without fear, of what's going to happen to you. And I feel like you are that kind of person. You showed by your example that you go after what you want, you speak your mind, you say how you feel, and this person never could meet you there. They could never match that energy. What they did is they played games. What they did was, from the beginning, were trying to figure out how to hide their own ass. Again, I'm going to say this word again, and I hope it's not considered like a bad word or anything like this, but they were trying to hide their own tracks. Okay, let's put it this way. And I think that they thought that first it was strength, but really it was weakness. They were trying to maybe even find a way how to blame you for something, how to accuse you of something, how to use you, in a way where you would be this, so to say, you know how they say sacrificial lamb, but I think there's another word too where you're like, how they say, the one who gets blamed for everything, essentially. Queen of Cups. And again, your love, your empathy, your honesty. I feel like your emotional honesty, your courage, your purity, like the purity of heart, the fact that you were actually genuine, you actually, you know, believed in love, you believed, you know, you believed, and you didn't show up somewhere because you were to manipulate, you were to take advantage of something. You showed up because you felt like that. And I feel like this person's biggest jealousy is this, because they kept scheming, tricking, but what they never realized, and with the two of wands here, you're the one who holds the keys to whichever box it is they want to open. I don't know what it means. We can try to clarify this. Page of Pentacles. You're the one who is walking away with treasure. And I feel like whatever happened between you and this person, it does not matter. Whether you ended up with them for some time and then realized, you know what, no. Whether you didn't end up with them, which is actually a bigger blessing. But I feel like maybe the final thing here to understand, to have complete closure, is that this person was never worthy of you in the first place, and you won by being as far away from them, for a lot of you, as possible. Five of Swords, because they are not honest. Like, this is the person who is a backstabber. They lie to one person, they lie to the other person, they lie to themselves. And you are victorious because you pursue truth. You know what you want, you are aligned with it. And yes, you make mistakes sometimes. You know, we all make mistakes. Maybe something you did here was really naive and silly and they took advantage of you. I feel like, yes, for some of you, this person took advantage of you because you were, at that time, very open-hearted, naive, kind. They were cunning. From the beginning, again, they didn't really think how something was going to affect you. From the very beginning, they were covering their own tracks. And ask yourself, like, if from the very beginning, a person is just covering their own, but they don't think of you, they don't think how something is going to affect you. If anything, they would prefer you to suffer the consequences rather than they would. Ask yourself, does it sound like a love to you? Because to me, it doesn't. Because what's happening now, you are rising to your power and you are aligned with a true love, true soulmate. This was for a lot of you a karmic connection over here. And most importantly, what's interesting, you have the key to 2 boxes. I don't know what it means. There are some kind of 2 boxes that are important. Most importantly, this person, ironically, this karmic energy that try to, I feel like, humiliate you. They try to put your value down somehow. They wanted, by the way, how they acted with you, they wanted to, I don't know, for some of you have some kind of religious clash, by the way, with them, or cultural. So they wanted to humiliate you, even though they were covertly doing that. Again, it doesn't have to be religious. Maybe it's spiritual. Maybe it's, I don't know, maybe you are like politically opposing each other somehow. I don't understand. There's some kind of opposition. They're showing me energy of polarity, and it could be different things. Like it could be different things, quite literally. It could even be your astrology. It doesn't have to be anything too crazy. But they wanted to humiliate you, almost like bring you down your value and make you kind of like cheapen you somehow. Maybe even elevate somebody else at your expense. Because, okay, for some of you, let's just say, you know that you are true divine feminine, wife material, mother material, and they tried, let's just say, to take some kind of third party who is maybe, I don't know, like a gold digger, like really doesn't care about anyone, and they tried to just hurt you, elevate that other person, so that, and make you feel like you are some kind of whatever cheap hookup or something like this. I mean, some of you did not even go intimate with them, but I'm just trying to explain to you, you know what I mean? It doesn't have to be the situation, obviously. They try to do something to like bring you down so that you would doubt yourself. And they tried to bring something that was so much less than you, more than you. And again, I'm not trying to say like, oh, there are people who are like less or whatever, but you know, you might know about yourself, like you're a divine feminine, mother energy, wife energy. And then they took somebody who is just all for money and try to elevate this person at your expense and say, oh, this is better than you. And this was always the trick for you to almost like start questioning yourself. It was a move to make you doubt yourself. It's a very manipulative move. 3 of Swords, for some of you, you were heartbroken temporarily. But again, whatever this is, you actually maintain your dignity. And again, what we're going to take a look is how this new journey unfolds for you. And what is this box you're unfolding? Because I feel like as you're going to have this realization more and more about what this person did, because they did a lot of things behind your back, and we're going to find out more actually what did they do behind your back. For some of you, they even tried to spread rumors about you, speak badly of you, maybe or try to confuse you so that you wouldn't meet your real soulmate. Could be. It's a karmic connection for a lot of you, that's very clear. But still, you have the key, which I feel like they need something that you have the key for. I know it's kind of a convoluted message. They need something you have this key for. And I feel like they will always remember, they will, like, life will in some ways humble them to always remember how they treated you, because it's almost like now, you know, like they could humiliate you, right? They could try to make you smaller, but in reality, what they're gonna see is how all of that's gonna backfire in some way, because you're gonna rise and your voice will be heard, and also you will be elevated in society in some ways, perhaps. Page of Cups, the moon, because of some new connection, some also creative project for some of you, and there is a victory that's on your side. They will be reminded about, it's almost like, again, there's you, they're showing me this energy of a queen, this energy of a royalty, spiritual royalty for some of you. Could be you're a descendant even of some kind of bloodline, could be. But like they tried to, it was this negative side of the enemy that tried to shrink you, try to make you feel small, so that, you know, really it's just a demonic type of thing to try to defeat the light. I really think it goes back to that. But anyway, we're going to go into the extended and we're going to find out here what is this key, because this is important. This is the key, and I feel like some of it will be unfolding over the next 6 months and some of them will be unfolding over the next 2 weeks. I'm not sure what that is. So link to the extended is going to be down below. Again, as always, guys, we appreciate you donating to the channel, giving anything you can to the channel. There are personal extendeds are available, extended readings are available. I appreciate you coming into those too. And there's also a sale for Scorpios from right now till November 1st, 20% off select items. Happy birthday, Scorpios. Links to everything are down below. See you in the extended, guys. Bye.